Hello, my name is Angela Jans. I'm a counselor in Lethbridge, Alberta, and today I want to chat a little bit more about grief and loss. So I did a video a little bit ago on grief, and the fact that grief isn't just about grieving the loss of someone. Yes, of course it is about that as well, but it can also relate to when we have lost an idea of something, or maybe there's change or different expectations that we weren't expecting. So we can have grief when we are experiencing some of those changes in life or transitions, divorce and separation, some of the things going on with our shifts in expectations related to being in COVID and being in this pandemic right now as well. So there's so many different things that relate to grief and loss. What I want to talk about today and mention is the 5 stages of grief. This was actually introduced by Elisabeth Kubler-Ross in 1969. And there is a piece that I want to mention before I talk about those stages. And that is that there is no right or wrong way to grieve. And these stages aren't necessarily like, okay, we do 1, 2, 3, and then we can kind of cross them off and then they're done. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes it can be kind of a process where we move into one and then we shift over into this one and we shift back to it and then move over to maybe stage 5. But really there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and there's no specific timeline. So after maybe you've lost someone and you feel like, okay, I lost them a year ago. Why do I still feel this way? Because grief is something that we experience sometimes for the rest of our lives. Yes, it can become a little bit easier over time because we have processed it in different ways, but there are different days of the year that come up that can kind of remind us of certain people and the losses that we've experienced. So just to normalize some of that piece is really important. So let's jump into those 5 stages. So that first stage is denial. Saying things like, it didn't happen, or it can't happen to me, it's not going to happen, different things like that. That's denial. The next stage is anger. I'm sure you guys have seen this and experienced it, maybe even yourself, but just this rage, this anger of wanting to like blame someone or blame something, and just being mad and frustrated and angry and kind of giving that out. So that's the second stage. The next stage is bargaining. And bargaining is, for example, saying, okay, if I do this or if I shift this will hopefully change what's happening in this other situation. The next stage is depression. And so just feeling really, really sad and not feeling like you have the energy to do different things. So that's another stage. And then the last stage is moving through periods of acceptance, like, okay, this has really happened or this is really happening, and knowing that that's also okay. So just a reminder that we do shift through all of those things. It's not necessarily a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 process. It can shift through all different ones. So we might be in 1 and then move to 4 and then maybe 5, then back to 2 and back to 1. So it is a process of allowing those stages to happen. So I hope this was helpful in learning a little bit about it, and maybe even just being able to identify what might be going on for other people. That was a good reminder I got from a friend of mine the other day of just realizing what those stages are and being able to say, oh, you know what, that is what this person is experiencing right now. So thank you to that friend. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more tips and tricks on ways to support you and your family.